Hey there, this time we're looking at SneakyPolarBear. He's playing for, I don't really remember the name, but some team in Maine. He's playing against Basics team. Let's see how it goes. They're the Syndrome of a Down, that's their name. So yeah, again, I mentioned this in Tino's demo, but you're kind of opening yourself up to a bunch of extra damage by stacking with a scout in demo as you exit the rollout. So I don't know why you're going this quick. Obviously you're going to do a double jump, but I don't really know what it's going to achieve. I guess you're going to land on the combo, but if you're going to go this quick, I would prefer you to do something like the Zebrine rollout, where you kind of meet the demo and the scouts and deal damage to them as they kind of push into mid. It's a little more consistent, and obviously this choke demo should have hit you, and that would have been pretty unfortunate. So let's see how this. I just end up not doing a double jump. That beginning was just terrible. So no point in going that quickly then. Just kind of delay a little bit, hold the exterior of the mid until you get into it, and then jump. So you're lucky if you get a whole lot, because the soldier that just jumped saw you jump, so it should be obvious that you're coming behind to either go up, drop down, or do this jump here. So their scout should have been shitting on you actively. So that entire mid just should have been terrible for you. It's going a bit better. This guy doesn't know what's up. Yeah. You're just lucky you got pushed into there, because like a better team would have just ignored you and kind of dealt with everyone else, because you were kind of a non-factor for the most of the mid. Especially the part where you jumped up, you should have kind of been mulched the second jump. So you probably want to take the bottle there and go a bit slower, just because having the health pack available is kind of a nice luxury. So you don't really need to do 2 jumps there. You're not looking to do a whole lot anyway. And what your team's trying to do here is kill their medic with the Uber if they're here, which I don't think they are, because their medic just spawned. And ensure that your medic doesn't get forced if your Uber can't really get to their medic. So by jumping here early, you're not really establishing a whole lot, you're just kind of wasting your buff. I guess it might have decayed anyway, but we'll see. Yeah, see, the soldier forced them on their side anyway. You do some good damage here. You don't want to peek this, because you're going to get pre-fired. If that soldier was really playing a little bit better, he probably would have killed you. Well, not killed you, but done damage that you didn't want to take. Like, you're not... I don't know why Rikachu isn't shooting you either. He's not really got anything else to do, so you're kind of fortunate you're not taking damage there, and any damage you deal there isn't really useful because your team's capping. So now they have advantage because you guys ended up using, and it's kind of your job to force them, so I'd be pressing choke more actively and figuring out where they are, because if you don't know where they are, you're not going to be able to accurately like kind of force them. If they get in too quickly and take position properly with their scouts, if both scouts were here, they would kind of be mulching you as you're coming in, and this medic would play like in and out, kind of ebb in and out. He probably wouldn't be getting forced by this random spam. Like, getting that force is really lucky. In general, I think Marxist uses really early, and that's probably his biggest problem. So, like, against a different medic, this probably wouldn't be working out. And obviously this is going to go well. You guys didn't even need to Uber here, because they took so much damage before the Uber started, and then getting to the top left that it didn't really matter. So you guys could be using that advantage to push it into last instead of wasting it there. And this, I don't know, everyone could hear that, but no one was really pushing into you there. That scout probably should have killed you, but he was busy building. So, again, scout building is shit, don't do it. Obviously it's not you, and you don't really have anything to do with building, but just a tip for your team. And yeah, don't Get hit by that splash. You want to clear that beforehand. Like, that scout that was building should have been actively clearing those sticks as another scout pushed main. Just for like ambiguity's sake, you don't want to reveal where you're going too early. So send both scouts kind of pressuring. So he can clear those sticks, and as you're pushing in, the sticks obviously weren't there. But if you get launched by that, your Uber is going to be significantly worse, and you could get launched into something stupid like this heavy. Alright, so you can't push back in, pretty much. You can stay here for a little bit longer. I don't know what you're looking to achieve there. Like, a good team's not going to leave last. There's no point in even trying that. But yeah, you can kind of exist in river for a bit. Look to put some damage on anyone that peeks it. But after a while, you're going to have to kind of back up, because they might push main. That's probably your only resolve here. At this point, you see that rocket coming from river with your full buff. I'd feel comfortable jumping into that guy. If he's alone, you're going to have a better buff than him, and you'll probably win, just because it's probably going to be a roamer, and roamer v roamer, just whoever has the most health wins in that area. And if the med's there, you have the potential to pick him and at least slow him down so much and so early that your team isn't really hurt by your death, because I think your spawns are already up and probably headed to choke. Right now you can be looking to jump them too. Not really sure what your team's... Okay, so your demo stayed up there. You probably should have stayed with him. Or he should have kept with your medic. Like, just should have switched positions there. It doesn't really make sense for him to be up and you to be back with the medic, since you obviously can't build. You really need to be watching something else. You don't need to be fucking here. So you have a pick. You get this one too. Kind of fortunate that they didn't end up Ubering here, because if they had walked into you guys there, they would have been pretty successful. So that's just kind of a product of not really having anyone spread out properly. You guys were kind of all stacked in one area, and if that roamer had been a pocket and with the Uber, it would have been a really easy multi-force. And I'm also kind of surprised that the scout even died in the first place without checking the traps. So yeah, that's just kind of lucky on your part, and you should probably spread out in lobby a bit more, especially you. You should at least be at the base of the stairs if you intend on being Ubered river, and then jump river. And if you're leading like it seems that you're doing, I don't know if that's because of your pocket's ping, but since you're leading anyway, it doesn't matter that you did a couple jumps to get there, since you're going to be getting a buff during the Uber anyway. That was a really bad weapon switch. You lost that last for yourself because of that. Couldn't reload and you took that extra damage, but like in general I don't think your pushes are that good. Like you go river and you don't, as a team, focus the right things. Obviously you want to kill the point or the left side. If anyone's there, basically the purpose of the river push is to kill them before the Uber by some sort of scout aggression, or immediately during the Uber at the beginning. And from there you kind of have to take advantage. Your demo man has to be behind you guys in the push, loaded and ready after the Uber to go back in, and you as a roamer probably want to be where you were, or top left on a balcony. Like, one soldier kind of has to be up there, because that's a very strong position where you end up not taking a lot of damage and dealing a lot yourself, and it's kind of a launching pad for you to jump off of. So if both of you are there, your scouts were with your medic and ended the Uber at 185, and your demo could follow up behind him, that's kind of what you're looking to do when you don't rush the point with the Uber, or you already have those couple picks from the left side. You're looking to take position in Riverside. It's for the after Uber. You can't really do a whole lot in the Uber since they're clumped up on the right.
The control point is being captured. Victory.
You get a back cap. Pretty cool. So yeah, going quick again, wasting all your rockets. This is garbage, okay? didn't know quick enough that the demo would be able to sticky you off here, and you only have one rocket to deal with him. If the scouts were jumping, they would be immediately to your left right now, and this is just not achieving anything. If you want to pressure this demo, or just get to choke, why don't you go through drop down? You don't have to waste this many rockets, and it's not dangerous. So you just took stickies there, and you haven't done any damage. It's literally just strictly worse than going drop down. So you're gonna get on this demo. I wouldn't really bother with him anymore. He's useless at this point, so focus on these scouts, yeah. I probably would have jumped him and then landed on him and probably done a second jump off of him. So you're damaging him and you're also kind of getting ready to put pressure on the other side of the map, because him on the ground and the way your team was positioned, he wasn't going to be doing a whole lot. And just putting that damage and putting that fear in him is enough to control him for the mid fight. And that's really what you're looking to do when the opportunity arises to Demo Man, is just control them by making it aware, or making it apparent to them that you can kind of shit on them at any point you want. So they have to play a bit more cautious and they're not dealing the damage they want to. Because you don't have to waste all that ammo, all that time killing them, if you can just control them, because that's really their only downside. They're their most controllable class. And again, like I was mentioning a bit earlier, no, I mentioned that in another demo actually, but you want weak people as a roamer to be finished off by hit scans, so you don't have that damage overflow. You're not overkilling someone and you're wasting all that damage. Especially roamer, where you're pretty much the lowest ammo class. You know, you just don't have a lot of ammo. You gunboat all the time, so don't have a second weapon. You want to conserve ammo, so in that situation you're comfortable with leaving the demo on the ground for your scout to finish off at any point and use the scouts to kind of control them. You don't really need to actively control him yourself. So you should be with your fucking minigun out at all times. I don't really know what you're doing with the shotgun and shit. And yeah, be more actively taking buffs. And I would be looking more towards the river than... Yeah, you could have been spamming him a bit earlier. It's fortunate that their medic doesn't actually uber him, because now you guys can push off of it. So if they're holding well, which I imagine they would be since they left early, you want to sack your pocket in because he has a lot of health. But since he has high ping, it was probably up to your scouts to just go in to make sure that that death didn't go unpunished. Because you won't be able to push out on this as a team. Yeah, you could try running sniper like you are, and you can push up with him in river and maybe get a pick there, but other than that, you should probably be strictly suiciding someone in, so this is a little bit sloppy on your part. So this situation, you could have chosen to jump them. Obviously, if you had a buff, it'd be a no-brainer, but in that situation, it's kind of situational. I don't know, it's up to you if you wanted to do it. I don't know why Tooth's fucking using the black box. He'll bomb in with the fucking black box. So that was good. Just make sure you get the pill. You don't have to worry about being pushed because they don't have the luxury of spending time on you. So you can stay there for a bit. You're just kind of wasting health and time right now. I guess they got your med. I wasn't really paying attention. Obviously when you go down here, you're not really in a situation where you can do a whole lot. Even the sticks weren't there. You're not going to jump into anyone. Like, they'll be able to deal with you. So probably just stay up top. And I think a problem here is your team is on sniper for the suicide as well. So they can't really push out because when your med died. That's fortunate. Yeah, I don't know. That was just kind of no-brainer for them. I don't know. I think you're getting really lucky because their scouts just aren't dealing with you very well. And this is, we already went over this shit. Like, you had a bad time doing this last time, so I don't really know why you're doing it again. At the very least, you'd be a bit more loaded right now. because you have to do less jumps and fire less rockets to get to drop down safely. So this counter jump's pretty decent, but I think you should have probably turned around midair once you realized the soldier was going to drop off instead of landing on it yourself, because it opens you up to a lot of scatter damage. This jump is good. Realizing that you cut off the med is great. Sucks that he arrowed you. But yeah, I don't know why you did the double take on the med. You looked at him. You should just kind of followed the scouts and kind of shit on them. That was a little bit bad prediction and target priority a little mixing up there, but not a big deal. So up here, you don't want to be turning around like this. It's just silly. Just watch your fucking door. You can stay here for a bit longer. You want to kill the scout that's going to go for the bottle. I mean, he's being dealt with by this sentry, but I would imagine that the demo would just get out, but he stayed in. I don't know why he didn't realize you were there. So that was just kind of his mistake, rather than you accurately putting your damage on something. Or putting your damage on something properly, I would say. Just make sure you get the kills that are guaranteed. Might as well pick up, yeah. Just waiting for your med. I think there's lived. No, probably not. Looks like you may have, because you guys are playing pretty far back. Yeah. So don't waste your ammo on that rocket, because you need to get out a bit earlier. If those people were inclined to kill you, they probably would have, because you fired that air shot. If you're going for that shot, just kind of wait till he falls and then all in him, but a trade in that situation wasn't very good. I don't really know what you're looking to achieve there. If they're on the point, if they're already in and you're not in yard, you guys give it up. It's just not gonna work. So maybe it was just a solo suicide, the intention just to put you in and delay them in lobby, but looks like everyone actually went in, so it's kind of a problem. They have a really bad Uber though, and they don't really use the Uber to heal anyone, so you're gonna be able to defend pretty easily. And yeah, using your big buff, you jump this. But this is a situation where, again, you'd probably be doing a better service to your team, and you'd still probably live if you spread that damage around a bit better. The demo's not going to be able to damage you that much. I think for the most part the soldier was. And obviously, you know, your team's going to be able to clean up pretty well. So put like a rocket on the demos. He didn't have overheal particles, so he didn't have a buff. And then focus the soldier down a bit. So you just want to stay here, but you want to pick up the bottle first. The earlier you pick this up, the more favorable it is for you, because if you end up waiting here again to push mid, which is pretty likely since you guys had a pretty stellar last defense, it'll be up a bit earlier. So if you happen to get pushed, or you want to wait for 200 before pushing, you have this pack up available earlier. See, like you have to go back for this one. If you'd taken it immediately, you would have it up already, the bottle, and you would have to sacrifice your positioning. So I guess you guys are waiting on Uber, and at this point you should be, I think your med is covered, but you should have been getting a buff before he got Uber. Okay, maybe he didn't cover. Yeah, I don't know why you jumped away after seeing that soldier there. It's the kind of thing that you want to go into and stop. If they were in fact all pushing main, which they were doing just to open it up for that soldier, you guys you should have been glad to just jump into them and suicide into them. Know that your team could kite through choke or behind a rock and have a much better Uber, and probably not even Uber at all. So they have the shittiest Uber in the world. I don't know why they didn't leave after that mishap. And they should have probably backcapped you guys too. I don't know, it was just a mistake on them to go back and you guys to go forward, but it worked out for you because they were they were the aggressor there. So yeah, when you spawn here, if you guys pick this up, it's going to be a pretty easy take through a big door since they're going to be down a roamer. Pushing in, I don't really know why. You get that easy kill. I don't know if taking the equalizer out there is pretty required. Like, you will die to some like long range scatter because of it. It's pretty stupid now. So yeah, they just made a big mistake there. I don't even know why they're pushing in. They're really pushing off of nothing. And yeah, it looks like you're gonna lead through river again. Way too quick. Your health is shit at the beginning of this, which means your med's gonna have to stay on you. It's lucky you got launched over there because you probably would have taken a lot of damage down to like 100 if they really were damaging that much. But in general, this is pretty good last. Yeah, you're way too early. There's no point in going that early. If anything, it just advertised the push for them so they could direct their spam there a little bit earlier. So yeah, this time you take a better approach. You know, you're down on the ground, you still have a buff right now, and you've actually done damage at the beginning of mid. This is good damage spread. I don't know why you're jumping again. You're not going to get away. Even if he didn't have a shotgun, he'd pick you up with the rocket when you fell. So you might as well just accept your death in that situation and make sure you deal a little bit extra damage before you die. There's also a situation where in this roamer v roamer, if you have really low health, you can still trade with him because he has to splash you to obviously at a shotgun, but if he was gunboating, he'd have to splash you to kill you, and you could probably trade that way. So yeah, I don't know, that's a common problem I see with a lot of roamers. They try to live when they can. Yeah, I don't know about this. It doesn't seem like the best idea. You also walked over a couple stickies there, but like, if they're not there, you don't need to kind of do that kind of aggression. They were just putting that demo there as a token to kind of slow you guys down for a second, and it kind of worked because you're really weak here. Now the Uber is going to have to be on you for the entire time, and it's fortunate they're running 2 defensive classes because you guys kind of get into them before they have time to set up, and that makes your Uber even better than it should have been. So let's hope this mid you go down on the ground again, or maybe through drop down. So yeah, this doesn't do anything, especially when you don't land immediately. When you're very, very far up in the air like that, the demo man will just eat you alive. So I would probably look to push from banana now, because I would expect their demo to be shooting at me. Like, as a demo, seeing that you went there, I would know I would be shooting at you just because you had low health because you were going for the pack. So my damage is hitting someone that's important, you know, soldier low health. I can keep him down for the rest of the mid. So I expect stickies to be coming at you, at the very least, close enough to you that they'll splash and also hit some other people. So probably just jump out of banana. It would have been probably the same kind of jump you did there since you delayed anyway. But you'd be a little bit safer. But yeah, these jumps and re-jumps are pretty good. I think you guys would have gotten had a bit harder time in that mid if their demo was a bit more aggressive, but as it stands, you're just kind of staying on his side and not really doing damage at the right time. Don't jump him, dude. He's gonna leave, and you want to take this pack early, so you have health and a buff. Obviously, you would have a buff if you stayed. The pack's up earlier if you need it. This is another one of the times where your health is so shit because you did something really stupid. Like go for someone that wasn't really a problem, that you have to get Ubered the entire time, and you don't want to do that as a soldier. You want your Uber on your scouts. Okay, so a little too fast, but You do the same thing, but the demo actually goes there and he shits on you. Your mid's terrible. So this is what I was trying to tell you about. The scouts actually took fucking forever to kill you, so it's fine, and your team's gonna probably do a little work off of that. But like, come on, your mid should kill himself right now. Hopefully he doesn't get a longer spawn wave because he lived for a couple more seconds. But yeah, I think you should have checked to the left. I'm pretty sure that soldier's behind you. If he was kind of keen, he'd probably have killed you a bit earlier. That was really bad play. They're probably going to take this round. There's no reason to die there without getting a trade. You always want to at least be in a position where you can get a trade, or you know you'll get a force. But in general, I don't think they had it, so you probably should have just tried to kill that roamer, knowing that he was hiding in the corner. Yeah, like, and then that. Just unbind, dude. Unbind that fucking key. Bind to something far away on the keyboard so you don't take your equalizer out. Because that's, if you lose, that's why. Like, they have to be pretty shit to lose that when you get 100, like, lose all of your life immediately. Yeah, so I guess they fucked up really hard, but, you know, that's just unacceptable. But in general, I didn't expect you to win that because you sacked into 2 and didn't do anything at all. And then you had a level 1 that got mulched immediately. They must have really fucked that up. But yeah, I don't know why you're sitting around again. This is good that you're checking with your buff. Don't do that. Like, you're not gonna find a spy down there. Even if you kinda, like, the likelihood of him getting through river, that since you're just there and knowing that what their respawns were is like impossible. So you guys critzed and it was miserable, and I don't know why you didn't kind of figure out where they were before you critzed, which is probably a problem there, so you're gonna lose this round. And yeah, like I said in a couple other demos, you're pretty comfortable just keeping the crits for last and controlling the doors that aren't Ubered through with the crits and kind of crit sticking the point, so the Uber has to, they can't get on the point without dying, basically. So this is fortunate that you got bounced, and you don't get to kill the demo for it, but that's really lucky, and their scouts were shit not to have killed you there. Like, maybe if both your scouts were aggressing with you, but I think one of them went left, if not both, so that kind of play is just not encouraged. I don't know why your medic's doing this. He's going to get a terrible spawn. You should lose this round. Really hard. Yeah, this round's over. There's no way you're making it that shitty of a spawn, and you guys win. You're lucky not to die here. I don't know what you were doing. Try to, like, help your med. You should have recognized that he was dead. He shouldn't live there, so you really shouldn't play around him living. And then trying to commit on the scout there was silly as well. So they have to not kill this sentry and not kill you, and they'll lose this. So they stack the point. Oh no, this is the round they actually get. Yeah, that was just bad. That was like the biggest throw I've ever seen. See, this isn't good for you. You don't want to do this. This is a terrible mid. I don't know why you keep jumping up there. It's not clever. You're getting there earlier isn't helping you at all. If you just look at the results of the mid, it's fucking terrible, and on paper it's terrible, so just go drop down. If you want to kill the demo, you just go drop down, you jump behind him and you shit on his dreams, dude. He has nothing if you go drop down. So they overextend, but this should have been a round for them. Maybe their med died? I don't really remember. I was looking at what you were doing, but I don't think he did. Looks like he did. Maybe not. No, he didn't. So they should have round. They're just bad. Like, they didn't play forward and kind of stop you guys from getting out. Didn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then they have this really awkward Uber. Never seen this team have a good Uber, and I don't know. It's not really Basic's fault. I think Mark's just Ubers really early, and it doesn't really heal people properly with it. But yeah, you should probably go drop down. Just because it puts you a bit closer to big door, and that's where I'd put you. And you obviously couldn't run into something, anything stupid like a sticky trap. I guess it didn't really matter. Yeah, you just kind of sit around your combo a lot. It's fucking bad. Like, you need to help your scouts push in so they can figure out what's going on, and you can actually have like a successful Uber. You can target things properly. You know what's going on beforehand. Like, and it's pretty easy to actively push this flank with a buff, and if there are people out of position there, you just kill them if your buff is better. So like, I don't know why you're so far back all the time. They Ubered, right? You guys had an Uber fight and they lost. Yeah, but you're still playing so passive. I don't really understand. Maybe they forced you and didn't use there, but I'm pretty sure they used there. Go look at your medic for a sec. Hey, you guys had it. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. This is actually, like, just disrespectful. Making them push into you. I don't know why you sent this demo in. Maybe your pocket's lagging really hard or something right now. At that point, why not pause? Like, this is scummy. This is scummy as fuck. See, I don't know what you're doing here either, because honestly, they're gonna use there anyway. Like, they want to multi, so you being there is just terrible. So I don't even know why you walked into them. Because you knew they were gonna use anyway, your health was already shit, and there was, at the very least, a scout behind you that you knew of, and then your pocket was obviously there, so just really bad clogging up the Uber like that. And then they should have known you were there, just weren't paying attention. This isn't really much of you doing well, just their negligence. They probably should have killed you pretty easy, actually. And I think that's the game, right? Yeah. You guys are dicks for doing that shit at the end.